Welcome in to the D2 Baseball Podcast. Robert Fry here, joined with a special guest today, one who was just recently drafted in the 10th round by the Texas Rangers. And on today, JD McReynolds from Central Missouri. JD, how are you feeling today?
Good. How are you, man?
Hey, we're doing great, and we're excited to kind of learn a little bit about your story and that whole draft process. But let's start there. Like, what was that process like? Getting that phone call saying, "Hey, you're getting drafted at by the Texas Rangers."
So it was kind of funny because the Rangers and I really hadn't had any communication since about February. And so one of their area scouts came out and talked to me after a game, and then I filled out a questionnaire, and then it kind of like I didn't hear a whole lot from him. So the day before or day one of the draft, after it got done, I talked to my advisor, and he's like, the Rockies and Brewers are pretty interested. They don't know like if where or when or if they're going to pick you yet. There's also some free agent stuff that's out there. We just gotta keep the ears open. So morning of day two, my advisor was going to talk to Colorado and see what the situation was there. Talked to him really late. Like he said he was going to talk to him first thing in the morning. I'm up at 6. I got my cup of coffee ready. I had breakfast in me. I'm ready to go, man. And so nothing. I text him like, hey, heard anything yet? No, I'll call him in 10 minutes. Okay. Don't hear anything for another couple hours. We get to about midday. I'm like, hey, how's everything going? What's the oh my goodness, I'm actually getting a call from Texas right now.
What are the odds?
I know. Well, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, go ahead and take that. Hey, this is a first here getting the call.
Yeah, exactly. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
No.
Trying to remember where I left off. I think it was about midday. And then so we get to like 7, 8, 9, and then my advisor's like, hey, Colorado might take you here in one of these three. So we're watching, waiting on text, waiting on a call, something. Nothing ends up happening. And then I texted him again at like just after 1. Like, hey, Wi-Fi's starting to kind of shoot out on me, just making sure that this is going through and you get it. He texted me back instantly. He's like, yeah, I got it. And then 3 minutes later, hey, Texas just came in with their offer. Nothing confirmed yet, but Texas just came in. And then I'm like, okay, well, we need to see if this can get confirmed or not. And then a couple minutes after that, he's like, Milwaukee just came in too. And then he confirmed everything with Texas. And I'm like, I think we need to say yes to Texas right now. So it all kind of happened like sporadically from like 1:10 to 1:40 was basically the hectic half-hour window that was text flying back and forth, and didn't even turn my phone off for probably that half hour. I was just sitting there looking at it. But yeah, and then so confirmed everything. I'm like, tell them yes, and then I got my family together. I'm like, I think I'm about to go be a Texas Ranger. We all huddled around the TV and waited to hear my name get called. It was awesome. I'm glad I got to spend it with some of the people that were closest with me.
Yeah, and how was that experience like? Just being able to just watch the MLB draft and then see your name come across the board.
It Dream come true is really the only way that I can say it. I mean, that's what I've wanted to do since I first started playing. So just another step in the right direction, accomplishing that childhood dream, and I'm really happy and excited that it all worked out the way that it did.
And you mentioned a little bit about, you had scouts talking to you. So like during the season, what were those conversations like with, scouts of various teams that were kind of talking to you like, hey, we're kind of interested in you.
So I don't. Most of the teams that were interested, I feel like went through my pitching coach because a lot of the area guys knew him pretty well. So I didn't necessarily hear a lot of it unless it was just somebody coming to talk to me after a game or like shooting a text throughout the week. But it was a lot of questionnaires with teams filling out different stuff and some medical stuff that we had to fill out. But it was a lot more over the phone conversation than it was in person. And I told our coaches too, like, I want to hear what you guys are talking about, but at the same time, I don't. Like I just want to, like, it's one less thing to think about if I don't know. So anything to kind of make that easier. But yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of like personal communication until it kind of got down to the end, and it was stuff had to get more finalized. But
And so you kind of mentioned your pitching coach. So I kind of want to ask you and kind of use this space to like reflect
mhm,
your time at Central Missouri, but less about you as a player, but more as the impact that the coaching staff brought to
mhm.
you during your playing career at Central Missouri.
Well, I mean, we had Crooks and Backus there the whole time. We were floating, bouncing back and forth between a couple different pitching coaches. I think we had 4 total while I was there. And then the one that we have now, Eli, came in after the fall semester of my junior year and then stayed. But he's been a great tool for a lot of our guys, and he knows a lot about like the metric side of baseball, and he's a very informative person, and he cares and he wants to help and be around everybody. Like he wants to build relationships with people, and I think that was kind of the biggest difference that I saw from pitching coach to pitching coach is that it was the super open lines of communication. Like we don't feel like we can't say anything. But I mean, Crooks and back, it's like those those are the two that really got me there. Those are the ones that stayed. From day one, I kind of liked the fire and the drive that they had about baseball, and just everything's a competition there, and the atmosphere is great, man. I loved it for 4 years. I couldn't have asked for a better place.
Yeah, and now talk about it a little bit more as a player. When you set foot on campus, did you ever think you would get to the spot where you are now?
I mean, yes, I yes, because that's what I wanted to do. Like if I don't think I could have got here, I probably wouldn't have. Like so, I think going into it, telling myself that I have what it takes to get to the next level, and then like just wholeheartedly believing in that. I think that's kind of what that kind of helped get me to where I'm at too. But I mean, everybody along the line of from high school, travel ball, and in college, like it wasn't just me. It was everybody involved: parents, family, fans, coaches, players. They make the game what it is, and if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be as fun. So those guys are the reason that it's a lot easier to show up every day and sweat and hurt and bleed and do whatever.
And I want to ask you, you've pitched in plenty of big stages so far in your career, the World Series, but also, you have the opportunity to go down to Houston
Hmm.
every season with Central Missouri and pitch at, well, now Dakin Park, formerly Minute Maid. But the, you know, I want to get your perspective of like, what are some of the like most fun and interesting like places you've pitched at, in your career at Central Missouri?
Um, yeah, like you mentioned the two big ones, Cary and Houston. Like those are fun places. I think I probably got more places that I don't like throwing at than I do like throwing at. There's a lot of not pitcher friendly ballparks that we would go play at. Um, and ours kind of was included in that for a little bit. Every once in a while, we'll have the wind blowing straight out, and it makes it not fun to throw there. But I mean, playing at home in front of a good crowd, especially in the postseason, is always fun. Like you get everybody coming out to support everything, and whether they've been there for multiple games or not, but it's just fun seeing the whole community kind of come together around our team and be there to support us and everything. Especially in the World Series, man, the support that we got was unreal, and it made it that much easier to go out there and want to go play 7, 8, 9 games and give it everything that we had.
And yeah, like we'll talk briefly about that. The uh, just the amount of camaraderie that you had first year of the best of three, and you ultimately finished as runner up. But as those games went along, the bullpen usage kept getting more frequent and frequent.
Hmm.
So, want to get your perspective towards the end of that. Like talking with Coach McFadden. Hey, like I'm available for this much. I'm available for this much. Kind of, what was that like?
I think it was everybody was like that. So it was the last game that we had. It was in the rain delay with Tampa. and he pulls all our pitchers aside. He's like, who has something left in him right now? Everybody's hand shot up. And so I feel like that kind of defined our pitching staff. Like that moment right there was kind of like, okay, like we have a fully invested, a fully bought in staff, and like I like where we're at. Unfortunately, we didn't end up winning. But I think that is going to be a good moment for the guys coming back next year. But it's like you have the option to not go, but at that stage, everybody's wanting to be a part of it. Everybody's wanting to help, and it really doesn't matter how they were feeling. They were just willing to get on that mound and go fill it up and battle for the boys.
And so this will be one of the two last questions. The first one is, for fans of the Texas Rangers / the organization, what kind of person are they getting? What kind of pitcher are they getting out of JD McReynolds?
They're getting somebody who's going to battle, man. It's plain and simple. I don't really know how else to say it other than I'm just going to go compete every pitch, and whatever happens, happens. I'm going to keep filling the zone up and just trust everything that I've done up to this point to get me here. So I feel like if I can stay with that, then I'll have the success that I want and be able to build from what I want.
And so the final question I have for you is, the realm of Division II baseball, less draft picks than Division I, but you still made it through. We're ended up being able to be a draft pick selection. What advice do you have for future Division II kids to say, hey, like you can still get drafted at this level?
I mean, if that's your goal, do everything you can to work toward it. I mean, you have to change your habits. You have to change your lifestyle, the way you go about the weight room, the way you go about practice. It just has to be, everything has to be super intentful. And if it's finding the balance of working smart and hard, not overworking yourself, but also doing exactly what you need to be doing. So finding that balance, and it's hard coming in your first year and even like kind of your second year. But once you can kind of find that balance and then get yourself in the right place to where like what you need to do, like how to get your body feeling certain ways and how to get to certain points. I mean, it's just being able to be kind of in tune with yourself and then be in tune with your environment too, and then figure out the best combination of the two.
Well, JD, I really appreciate you taking out the time to talk about your experiences, talk about, Division II baseball, Central Missouri, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck going forward in your professional career.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Yep, and that is JD McReynolds, right-handed pitcher at Central Missouri, and now in the Texas Rangers organization.